I'm not paying back my student loans. I do not care. Oh, but what about your credit score? What am I going to do with a good credit score? Buy a house on starvation wages? Buy a car I can't afford to insure? I'm not paying them back. I don't give a shit about my credit score. Oh, they're going to garnish your wages. Most of us are underemployed. If they start taking additional money out of my paycheck, I just won't work. My life will not get worse. I'm not going to have the money anyway, so you can't garnish what isn't there.
Look here, man. I got a question, and I'm laughing, but very serious. Are we still caring about credit scores? Are we still caring about credit scores? I'm trying to ascertain. What you need a credit score for anyway? To buy a house? Buy a car? I bought a house a couple years ago. I ain't finna buy down nothing. They gonna find my remains in this house. You see what I'm saying? And if this car give out, I'm gonna push my feet through the floorboard, Fred Flintstone this hoe. I'm just trying to figure out these student loans, however, it's above me now. Hey, it's above me now. Cause I'm also tired of being the only one paying taxes around this hoe. Billionaires ain't paying nothing. They taxing the hell out my little check. Listen, I gotta get it back in blood somehow, some way. Somehow, some way. This gotta even out. So if I gotta pay taxes, these little debts, I'm liable to run up a tab and leave this bitch. You know what I'm saying?
Has any other millennial just decided that they're not paying off their debt? That there's just no point? They're not paying off the student loans. They're not addressing the medical bills. You're not addressing the credit card debt. You don't give a fuck about debt to income ratio. You're just deciding that you're not going to do. I don't want a $600 to $700, $800, $900 car note. I don't. I have a 2013 Kia. It's paid for. I don't want that car note. I have decided that I do not need to use my credit. If I can't buy it cash, I don't need to dip into this realm of basically saying you can't afford it, so use your credit until you're able to pay it off. I don't want to live an aesthetically pleasing lifestyle. If that's you, that's you. Hustle culture has taken up a majority of my life, and I don't want any part of it anymore.
I'm just gonna say it right here and right now. Fuck student loans. I was talking to my mom earlier today, and she was talking about how, like, they show up at her house. They be calling her on her phone, sending her fucking text messages, emails, talking about, if you do not pay us back, I'm going to take out of your fucking check until you pay it back, bitch. I am taking your fucking tax return, bitch. You better pay us back, bitch. And I'm just like listening to this. I'm just like, what the fuck? This sounds like extortion. This sounds like fucking mafia. Fuck them people. Don't pay them. Like, we are out here like on our last $5, last $100 for the week, bitch. No, no.
Many young Americans are refusing to pay back student loans because the system has lost all credibility. Credit scores once held power, but for a generation locked out of homeownership, they've become meaningless. What's the point of preserving a number when wages lag behind inflation, rent consumes most income, and basic goods now cost double what they did 10 years ago? Traditional financial incentives don't apply anymore, and that's the detail nobody's talking about. When a whole generation sees no tangible reward for playing by the rules, compliance collapses. They're not just walking away from loans, they're walking away from the culture that said grinding would pay off. The bigger danger is mental collapse. Student debt isn't just about money, it's about identity. Young people internalize failure when they can't pay, even though the system is rigged. Combine that with the constant reminder that their future is stalled. No homes, no families, no stability, and it breeds hopelessness. That hopelessness is accelerating the rise in self-harm. Nobody is connecting the dots between debt pressure, economic exclusion, and declining mental health. But the link is there, and it's strong. The crisis isn't financial anymore, it's psychological, and the breaking point is closer than anyone admits.
These student loans, like the calls, are really making me regret ever going to college, considering I'm not even doing anything in my degree. But like these calls are just a reminder that I'm like, first of all, doing nothing with my life. Second of all, broke as shit. And yes, I hee hee ha ha about it here, but like it's literally not a joke. It's like embarrassing, and it's like the most stressful thing, and I never want to be the person that's like driven by money. Like, that's not me, but like sometimes I wish I was, so I wouldn't be in the position I am in. And like dealing with these calls and having to basically say my situation, like I literally cannot pay off an amount on these damn student loans. And then the fact that they're so relentless, they call every person in my family, they call people not related to me, but like associated with me, and I don't even know how it's just crazy. And it's like, I hate it. It's like you're coming at me for my own little debt when this country's in debt. Like, it's so frustrating, and it gets me so angry, and literally it's like, I avoid these calls at all times. They send me into full-on panic attacks. But then sometimes I just have to make the call because they're calling everyone else in my life. And it's so frustrating. And yes, maybe I did it to myself. Maybe I should be smarter about money. Maybe I should just take on any job that like will pay me, and I'm luckily finally starting a job, but it's not what I want to be doing. Not using my degree. It's another serving job. It's fucking working at Hooters at 28 years old, living back at home. It's like, and then it's moments like these that make me question whether anything I want to do in life is going to happen, like at this stage, because it's so annoying. And I just had to vent.
Not me entering my final stage of full-blown crash out. I'm literally crashing out. I was so excited for tonight. Oh my God, I'm so worked up. I was gonna get dressed up. I mean, I still am. I'm definitely getting a martini now. Last week, I fucking hate student loans. Last month, I set up auto pay because I don't want to forget. I don't like being late. You could never get on the phone with these stupid student loan people. And I log on today because I have to get my fucking tax documents. Fuck my life. Life never ends. I'm like, oh my God, it says my payment's late. And I'm like, how does that even make sense? I set up auto pay last month with my card and my bank and all the stupid information. And then I call them today and they're like, it's going to be a 3-hour and 50-minute wait time. And then I'm trying to have dad help me. And I'm like, what did you guys have me set up auto pay for that if my payments are now late? And I'm like, I'm not crashing out over Mohila. You're ugly. I don't have time for this. I'm crying over a fucking stupid student loan.
If student debt continues unchecked, the psychological fallout will spread like an epidemic because it erodes the very foundation of hope that keeps people moving forward. When a generation spends their most productive years under crushing financial weight, the constant stress rewires their minds toward despair, anxiety, and detachment from society. This isn't a matter of poor budgeting, it's the slow collapse of mental resilience on a national scale. The debt trap creates a silent cycle of sleepless nights, fractured relationships, and lost ambition, all of which bleed into public health systems and workplace productivity. Ignoring this toll isn't neutral. It guarantees a future where young adults stop believing life has value beyond survival. And when that belief dies, the consequences reach far beyond unpaid loans.
Did you guys know that the United States is currently $1.81 trillion in student debt? That's not all the other debt. That's literally just student debt. 42.5 million Americans, and I can guarantee you 95% of those people will never get out from under their debt. I don't think I have to explain to you why, because I think some of you have been through this. I've seen you in my comments before, but for a lot of the people that took on this debt, they can pay 3 times the amount that they initially owed and still have 70% of the debt left to pay off because these companies are so predatory with such high interest rates. You're trapped. And the United States allowing those companies with such enormous interest rates to prey on young kids, signing contracts that they have no concept. They have no concept of what the fuck they're tying themselves to. A life where they are trapped for literally forever. A life where they will never be able to save money for their retirement. And do you see how this all ends up snowballing back to our our taxes. Or, you know, in the end, it may just become such a calamity that it just destroys our country. I mean, I guess our country is in the process of being destroyed as it is, so maybe it doesn't even fucking matter. I don't know. You know what? Maybe Trump is going to eliminate the dollar and everyone's going to pay for everything with his diarrhea coin. That's probably what's going to happen anyway. But my point is, this is not a reasonable amount of debt for a country to be carrying for education so that we can have a country. Do you want a doctor that hasn't read a book and can't read?
College prices in America are a scam because they've been inflated far beyond the true cost of education. Universities spend billions on luxury dorms, bloated administrative salaries, and sports programs that have nothing to do with academics while passing the bill to students. The actual cost of delivering lectures, books, and basic facilities should not run into tens of thousands per year. It's estimated that a real education stripped of excess should cost under $5,000 annually. Instead, the system traps young people in decades of debt while lenders, universities, and financial institutions profit from interest payments and government-backed loans. The price tag doesn't reflect value, it reflects greed, and the burden falls squarely on students who were told education was the only path to a better life. The government's recent offer to forgive loans for those recruited by ICE reveals how debt has been turned into a weapon. Student loans are no longer just financial obligations, they're leverage, forcing desperate young people to consider morally compromising roles to escape their burden. This is not opportunity, it's coercion. It shows a dark reality. If you owe the government, freedom comes only if you serve its interests, even in ways that harm communities and contradict your values. That's not forgiveness, it's exploitation dressed as relief. A system that first overcharges for education, then demands questionable service to clear the debt, is not broken by accident. It's engineered to keep young people cornered and compliant.
This is absolutely devious work, and you cannot make this shit up. As much as the right wing has chastised and demonized student loan forgiveness and socialist programs, they are giving out not only a $50,000 bonus for joining ICE, but they are forgiving student loans. This is like devious work on a whole different level. You can't write this. This is, yeah.
Start with, I have currently about $430,000 in student loans.
Good Lord.
Yes, I was in medical school. I had failed 2 sets of boards after 3 years, and then was recently dismissed. And so about 80 of that, 80,000 is from undergrad, and then other courses later on to get into medical school, and the remainder is from medical school. But right now I have the debt, but no degree that I was planning to use to actually be able to pay that back. So at this point, I don't really know what my options are to try to dig out of this.
You're right. That's a mess. I'm so sorry. That's scary.
My student loan payment is due today for this much, which means that I'm going to go down from the 6 figures. Okay, I think my payment might have hit. Yes! Okay, so it's finally below 6 figures. Slay. And then I'll probably make like a $2,000 extra payment, which will hopefully go towards the principal here within like the next day or so. Okay, so with my current plan, this is when I'll have it paid off. But I'm trying to speed that up, so let's see how this number changes.